Imagine we don't have a spare $50,000, pounds, or euros to spend on 3 years of film school. Or we'd rather not spend a large percentage of our life in crippling debt by taking on an enormous student loan for a film degree. But we do have a calling to the beautiful art of editing. Now, are we screwed? Or can we go our own way and learn it by ourselves? Is editing a skill that can be self-taught? Well, the short answer is yes, it can be self-taught. And I know because that's exactly what I did. I went from editing low-budget charity videos and actor showreels to editing dozens of documentaries and reality TV shows for many of the world's biggest broadcasters. Now, I didn't have that 50 grand, and I definitely couldn't afford to take 3 years off work while living rent-free somewhere. But was I special? Was I a unique, once-in-a-generation editing genius? Definitely not. There's nothing that I did that any other aspiring editor can't do either. It wasn't particularly easy. It did require some sacrifices, and there was no one there to help or encourage me. But it is definitely possible for the more driven and focused amongst us. So if you love editing, if you have a passion for our invisible art form, but for whatever financial or geographical reason you have to teach yourself, this episode is for you. I'm going to break down how you do this without spending any money outside of an editing software subscription. Now, first of all, you have to know that editing is not actually one skill. It's about 10 or more separate skills that are interconnected and overlap with each other. The editors who rise to the top of the industry are the ones who have got to a very high level in each one. Now, this is rare, and also the reason why it's the same 100 or so editors in any one country who get all the high-end work. So, the intelligent way to approach learning this art form is to break it down into its component parts and start practicing each one separately. For the fundamentals, you need to have knowledge of, be proficient in, and be able to manipulate at will the following skills: dialogue editing, shot flow, pace and timing, intercutting, starting and ending scenes, music scoring, and narrative structure. Now, please note, these are the basic skills only. They are not advanced. So let's dive into them. In unscripted editing, which is most genres except drama, you have to learn how to compress raw interview footage into short dialogue assemblies. Editing character interviews into watchable scenes is about 3 major things. Firstly, cutting out all dialogue that isn't what the scene is about. Secondly, keeping in all dialogue that is what the scene is about. And thirdly, restructuring what's left into a dramatic and engaging story structure, an arc. Shot flow is principally about how you cut your B-roll or observational footage together. The goal is to create a smooth, fluid-looking, and believable picture edit. And we pay strict attention to things like continuity, how the action and camera movement plays out across the cuts, how connected or disconnected the B-roll is to the dialogue, and what is happening at the cut point with the outgoing and incoming shot. Pace and timing. Now, social media editing is usually cut at one pace only: fast. High-end narrative editing is the opposite. It takes you on a multi-tempoed roller coaster of different paces across a whole film. Knowing how to manipulate the speed and tempo of shots, dialogue, and music for dramatic and emotional effect is a key skill to practice. Pacing is driven by many factors, including the speed of the cuts, fast or slow, the speed of the action that plays out in front of the camera, fast or slow, and the distance of the subject from the camera, close or far away. Intercutting, one of the most well-used structural cutting patterns used in all forms of long-form narrative editing, is the intercut. This can happen in a short montage or on a much grander scale within the whole structure of a film. Starting and ending scenes. How you start a scene, the hook, and how you end one, the resolve and potential future hook, is one of the truly powerful narrative skills that you can have. Working out the most interesting way in and out that intrigues the audience and doesn't just give them facts and logic is essential. Now, one of the biggest skills a director or producer often asks about an editor is, are they good with music? Your ability to work with music is one of the most powerful skills you can have as an editor. It's a huge part of the art form, and you'll at least need to be proficient in the following: how to work out the emotional tone of your scene, how to audition and select the perfect music track based on that emotional scene tone, and how to structure the music track within the sequence for maximum effect. Narrative structure. Now, this one is bandied about a lot, but very few people truly know what it means in regards to editing. Quite simply, you need to know at the very least how to build a basic visual story on the timeline. What you tell the audience visually, what you let them hear from a dialogue perspective, and in what order is not simple. It's probably one of the most difficult of the basic skills that are required. One of the things I struggled with when trying to break into high-end editing was learning the language used in professional edit suites. Learning all of the terminology really does help when shaping your mind for every stage of the creative process. That's why I created this for you. It's a beautifully designed film poster that I call the periodic table of editing terminology. 50 of the most creative terms you'll ever hear in a pro editing suite. You can print it out and put it up on the wall of your cutting room, or keep it as a screensaver. Just click on the link in the description below, head on over to Inside the Edit and download it right now. Memorize every single one, and you'll start sounding like a high-end editor very quickly. One of the main reasons that film schools have such a terrible record of preparing editors for the creative work in the industry is simply because you don't get enough practice. If you want to get good at dialogue arcs, you have to cut lots and lots of dialogue arcs. If you want to master pacing or intercutting, you have to practice building these cutting patterns over and over again. Do it over and over again until it's a reflex. So, take these 7 fundamental skills, write them up on a big poster on your cutting room wall, and chart your progress in each one. Maybe focus on 1 skill per week or 1 skill per month. For example, January, pace and timing. Week 1, 3 sequences cut slow. Week 2, 3 sequences cut fast. If you're fitting in around your day job, when you get home from work, maybe don't watch 2 episodes of that new Netflix series tonight and do 60 to 90 minutes of cutting practice instead. In all honesty, it all comes down to just one thing. And this thing isn't taught at film schools and on media degrees. How strong is your will? After the passion has run out, do you have the focus, the drive, the discipline, the will to cut out all distractions and repeat these creative processes over and over again with little to no immediate financial reward? That's how I did it. That's how so many of my friends did it. And that's how you can do it. There is absolutely no reason why you can't do what I did. Don't start tomorrow. Start today. Start right now. Thank you, dear friend, for your kind attention. I'm Paddy Bird, and this is Inside the Edit.